Out of Bear Lake, Pennsylvania, the Lester Billings, Corey Rubber Corporation, Slavic Group All-Star Performance, Lakeshore Paving, sponsor machine of Chubzilla, Chub Frank.
Frank, a former winner of the Pittsburgh 100, and takes the white flag.
2031, 20.31 for the driver of the Fire Motorsports, VP Racing Fuels, custom-powered rocket Monte Carlo. So a 2031, the quick time of the afternoon so far for Chubzilla. And a 2038, 20.38.
Locking under the laser eye now the driver of car number H1, young Red Miley. Miley, a feature winner in unsanctioned competition both at Pennsylvania's Lernerville Speedway and right here at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. The young sophomore driver in a car fielded by his parents Jerry and Debbie Miley, taking the white flag at his home track. 20.88, 20.88, the first lap time for Red Miley in the H1 car. Miley has made starts this season with the World of Outlaws Tour, and with those 2 feature wins under his belt, is fast becoming one of Western Pennsylvania's top-notch local racers and takes the checkered flag. 20.59, 20.59, second lap time for Red Miley. Now on the speedway. In car number 4, the American die-cast machine from Saxonburg, Pennsylvania, Alex Ferree.
Alex Ferree in the Moody Sales, Butler Pre-Owned Cars, Franklin Racing Supply, Cornet Powered Rocket Monte Carlo. This is the car, I understand, Mike, that his father had, and Ed said, I don't like it, take it. He went right out and won with it shortly thereafter. So Ferree liking what he's in, and he likes his time of 20.89, 20.89 first lap time on Alex Ferree. What a beautiful machine.
A great looking race car. He has won with the Mid-Atlantic Championship Series in his career and recently picked up a $4,000 win here in the Guerin Memorial 40-lap special at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway.
Second lap time, 20.65, 20.65.
Fourth quick time for Alex Ferree, both he and his father with victories here at the Speedway. Now on the clock from Latrobe, Pennsylvania, multi-time Pittsburgh 100 winner, Davey Johnson. Johnson in car number 79, the Malkuit's Tavern, Malkuit Racing number 79 entry. A brand new ride. He's only been in this car a couple of times and takes his first lap time of 20.88, 20.88, the first lap time for Davey Johnson. Johnson has won the Hillbilly 100 repeatedly. A former winner of almost every Crown Jewel event, including the Hub City 150 at Hagerstown in his long career. And second lap time for Davey Johnson, 21.14, 21.14, second lap time for Davey Johnson.
So that'll bring us to our next qualifier on the Speedway. Out of Shinston, West Virginia, the Scott Signs and Designs, Waltz Incorporated, Hoosier Tire, Atlas Auto Parts, Amos Paving, Mopar by Stanton Engine, Rocket, Dodge Intrepid, the 18 of Robbie Scott. Time to beat, 2031, set by Chub Frank. Billy Moyer second quick, Red Miley third quick early on in qualifying. 21.24, 21.24 first lap for Robbie Scott in the 18.
You know, Scott's home racetracks where he is very successful couldn't be more different than Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. He's used to running the high-banked quarter and 3/8 miles of the Mountaineer State, now touring the 0.55-mile Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Motor Speedway with a time of
21.05, 21.05.
Out on the speedway now, Keith Rodriguez from Crescent, Pennsylvania, the Airport Auto Body. Hankemeyer Excavating, Durano Beverage number 29R. Rodriguez, a regular competitor here at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway, headed down the back straight. Rodriguez looking for a start in the Pittsburgh 100 to cap off a much improved season in late model competition here. 21.96 to 1.96 first lap time, and the second lap time will be slower. A major miscue in turn 2 as the front end of the car pushed up toward the outside retaining wall. Rodriguez avoided contact with the guardrail, but will have a slower second lap time as the 29 car takes the checkered flag. 22.44 to 2.44 second lap time for Keith Rodriguez.
Next qualifier on the Speedway, this is Todd Bachman's number 66 entry, but driven by the driver out of Pittsburgh, the Sarver Landscape Supply, Bachman Trucking, SMS powered Swartz Monte Carlo. It is Nick Jones, and Jones in trouble. So his first lap is obviously not going to be a good one. He'll have to regroup now as he has already taken the green flag, which means that once he comes by, lap 1 will be in the books, and he needs to get that momentum up for lap number 2. But Mike, on a track this size, no problem regrouping and getting the car back underway for that second attempt.
He will have a full head of steam for lap number 2 as the first one comes in at around probably a minute. Same spot on the racetrack where Rodriguez had a problem just a lap ago. 38.51, 38.51, the first disastrous lap for Nick Jones. Jones, many times a winner at the Lernerville Speedway in Sarver, Pennsylvania. For years drove his own number 15J car, and tonight climbing aboard the 66 machine. Second lap time much improved at 21.66, 21.66 second lap time for Nick Jones. And now on the Speedway in car number 14G, Tommy Schernhofer.
Out of Dormant, Pennsylvania, he's in the West Mifflin Collision, Toys R Us, Subway Sub Shops, Boulevard Automotive, Schernhofer Welding, Malquit Powered Rocket, Monte Carlo. Of course, he and teammate Scotty Gunn both driving 14 cars here this weekend. They took the G off this one, a little bit easier for the scorers. First lap time 21.43, 21.43.
Schernhofer, one of the top competitors in limited late model action here on a weekly basis at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. He as well having difficulty in turn 2, although he continues moving faster than our last 2 qualifiers. Schernhofer, a top gun in the limited lates, hoping to make the Pittsburgh 100. Second lap time of 21.77 to 1.77, the second lap time for Schernhofer. Now on the Speedway, many-time track champion in the number 1 Cochrane 1C, Lynn Geisler from Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania. Geisler, one of the leading feature winners in his long career at Lernerville Speedway and Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. Geisler celebrating 25 years with the same primary sponsor, the Cochrane Automotive family of dealerships from Monroeville, Pennsylvania, and his first lap time is going green one more time. We did not get a time on Geisler that lap. Geisler will take another green flag lap before he sees the white. Geisler, a former sprint car competitor who won with the URC Sprint Tour, converted to late model racing about 3 decades ago and has been very successful. 20.94, 20.4 first lap. West Virginia, the unique walls and ceilings. Lucon's Red Fab Orion Development Competition Sportswear number 17. Elson, during his career, did set fast time for a Pittsburgh 100 just a few years back. Takes the white flag. First lap of 20.45, 20.45, the first lap time for Lance Elson, former fast timer in the Pittsburgh 100. Out of turn number 4 and completing his time trial run. 20.28, 20.28, a fast time for Lance Elson, currently the quickest driver in the session with the now defunct NDRA late model series. Geisler seeing the white flag now for a second lap time. The number 1C car, very familiar to Western Pennsylvania race fans. His son Travis spent some time driving in the NASCAR Busch series. flag now, and Pennsylvania's own clocks in with a 20.93, 20.93 second lap time for Lynn Geisler. Now on the Speedway, the California driver, World of Outlaws traveling regular Eric Jacobson from Santa Cruz, California, the well-picked berries. Soil Fume Incorporated, Olin Shocks, Gotta Race VP Race Fuels number 5. Tonight for Eric Jacobson, George Kowatic with a first lap time of 20.81, 20.81, the first lap time for substitute driver George Kowatic. Kowatic had been a regular competitor at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway in years gone by, now returns driving the Californians race car and taking the checkered flag. 20.71, 20.71, the second lap time for George Kowatic in the Eric Jacobson number 5. Now on the Speedway, feature winner here earlier this season in unsanctioned competition from Imperial, Pennsylvania, Mike Johnson in the 2J car. Mike Johnson, the younger brother of track champion Davey Johnson. Mike Johnson, a wrestling coach and avid wrestler, was a ranked college performer his wrestling days, and the Chem Oil number 2J takes the white flag. 21.12, 21.12 is the first lap time for Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson has been a winner on the Mid-Atlantic Championship Series Tour, won here at Pittsburgh and at the Lernerville Speedway. Seeing the checkered flag, Mike Johnson's second time. 20.89, 20.89 second lap time for Mike Johnson. Car driven by Jason Ryder from Clinton, Pennsylvania on the Speedway now. This is an identical team car to former Pennsylvania Motor Speedway champion Dave Wade. Sponsors include Yangling Lager, Dave Wade Auto Service, and Specialty Turbine Service. Ryder, the limited late model ace, taking the white flag in his qualification attempt. 20.93, 20.93 first lap time for limited late model graduate Jason Ryder. Former late model champ Dave Wade has mentored the career of Ryder along to several limited late model victories here at Dirt's Monster Half Mile this season, and the checkered flag is waving. 20.76, 20.76, the second lap time for Jason Ryder. Leading the Rookie of the Year points chase for the World of Outlaws Late Model Tour, the driver of car number 28 from Salt Rock, West Virginia, Eddie Carrier Jr. The Carl Grover Motorsports number 28, sponsored by Engines Incorporated and Railway Equipment, the outstanding second generation driver. Eddie Carrier Jr. seeing the white flag as a World of Outlaws Tour regular this season. 20:35, 20.35 is third quick time of the evening set by Eddie Carrier Jr. Carrier in his third season driving for Grover Motorsports after parking his own family-owned number 1 machine, and takes the checkered flag. 20.25, 20.25 is the quick time of the night set by Eddie Carrier Jr. Tony Mussolino driving car number 21. Tony Mussolino from Scott Township, Pennsylvania. The Hayes Heating and Cooling Gear Head Graphics Rhythm House Cafe number 21. Mussolino won the Rookie of the Year award last year on pavement. 21:04, 21.04 the first lap time for Mussolino. Checkered flag for Mussolino. 21.68, 21.68 the second lap time for young Mussolino, regular competitor here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway, as is Brandon Burgoon in car number 17. From McDonald, Pennsylvania, Brandon Burgoon was voted the Western Pennsylvania Rookie of the Year in all forms of racing last season. The Three Rivers Scrap Metal Bridgeville Auto Parts number 17 car of Burgoon, who last year spent the season racing in the limited late models here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. 21:03, 21.03 the first lap time for Brandon Burgoon. Pontiac body on a rocket chassis with a Malkuit Racing engine for Burgoon. Limited late model standout, just as many of his weekly combatants trying to make this super late model Pittsburgher 100 field for the World of Outlaws. 21:33, second lap time for Burgoon is 21.33. Now taking the green flag from Stoystown, Pennsylvania, Rod Schweitzer in the 84 car. Schweitzer always competing here at the Pittsburgher as a conclusion to his season, running the Bedford-Cumberland circuit, the central part of the state, the Jerry Engel Contracting, Ritchie Sandblasting, Clark Distributing, Pin Forest Products number 84, seeing the white flag. First lap time 21:10, 21.10 first lap time for Rod Schweitzer. Schweitzer, a former limited late model champion at the Bedford Speedway before making the jump to super late models. The 84 car coming out of turn number 4 for his second lap time. 20:70, 20.70 second lap time for Schweitzer. On the speedway now, a former Pennsylvania Motor Speedway track champion in the 02, Al Attella from Bridgeville, Pennsylvania. The Todd's Auto Body, Hunter Truck Sales, MRR Detailing number 02 car. Attella won that championship driving for one of the area's venerable car owners, Phil Lucon. And now in the 02 car, Attella takes the white flag. 20.97, 20.97. is the first lap time for Al Attella in the 02 car. Attella been racing only part-time the last season or so after his championship runs here every week at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. Second lap time, 20.98, 20.98, the second lap time for Al Attella. Now on the speedway, the 84 car of Jim Steffens. Jim Steffens in the Lucon RevFab 84 car from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, sponsored by Colbert's Collision and Town View Service. 21.00, a flat 21-second lap for Jim Steffens. The 84 machine is owned by Phil Lucon, who also fields a couple of limited late models for the Saturday night racing action here at Dirt's Monster Half Mile. Steffens out of turn number 4 to take the checkered flag. 21:19, slower second lap at 21.19 for Jim Steffens. Now on the speedway in car number 8W from Canfield, Ohio, Bob Williams. Williams driving the Western Reserve Landscape Services, Bob's Auto Body number 8W. Williams, a former E-Mod competitor and very successful at that. He's also competed in the ARCA Remax Supercar Series during his long career. And the veteran hits the start-finish line to complete lap number 1. 21:13, 21.13, the first lap time for Bob Williams. At the checkered flag, a driver change. It is now Alan Dellinger driving the 8W you see on the racetrack. And 20.56, 20.56 is the 5th quick lap for Alan Dellinger in the 8W. Now on the speedway, the West Virginia Rim Rider in car 0, Steve Baker from Fairmont, West Virginia. Baker in the Richard Construction Bland's Towing Farm Used Auto Parts number 0. A champion of Pennsylvania Motor Speedway and many-time feature winner here, taking the white flag. 20:50, 20.50, good for 5th fastest time of the night for Steve Baker. Competes here on a weekly basis at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway when he steps away from his weekday duties at the Rocket Chassis shop in Shinston, West Virginia. The 0 car taking the checkered flag. 20:97, 20.97, the second lap time for Steve Baker. And on a record-setting pace earlier in 2006, the driver they call Scrub from York, Pennsylvania in car 24, Rick Eckert. Eckert in the Ray Vest Racing, J&J Steel, Olin Shocks Hypercoils, Hoosier Tire Ford Fusion set the record this season for most consecutive World of Outlaws late model victories on tour. First lap time for Eckert, 1992, 19.92, fast time of the night. The only driver to clock in under 20 seconds so far is Rick Eckert. Eckert coming off that big win in his most recent trip to Pennsylvania Motor Speedway this summer. He won the Penn National Classic 40-lapper here in his second lap time. 1992, an identical 19.92 for Rick Eckert. Now on the Speedway in car 15, known as the Kentucky Colonel, Steve Francis from Ashland, Kentucky. The Mopar Performance, Valvoline, Freeport Recyclers, Mooring Disposal, Olin's Shocks, Dodge Charger. Francis has been in victory lane at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway, but has never won the Pittsburgh 100. And the three-time Stars Renegade Series champion clocking in with his first lap at 20.09, 20.09, second fastest time of the night for Steve Francis, the Kentucky Colonel. Francis, no stranger to racing here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. Second lap time for Francis, 20:10, 20.10 for the driver, sixth in the point standings coming into tonight. Now on the Speedway, the driver known as Kid Rocket from Shinston, West Virginia, in car number 1, Josh Richards. Subert Calf Ranches, Ace Metalworks, Hoosier Tire, MCB Motorsports, Pontiac, the Rocket Chassis house car. The young man who has won a feature here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway in his brief career, taking his white flag, 20.16, 20.16, the first lap time for Josh Richards. One of the first feature victories in his career was in an unsanctioned event here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway of a 30-lap distance. And coming out of turn 4, Kid Rocket sees the checkered flag, second lap time, 1998, 19.98, the second quick time of the night for Josh Richards. Now on the Speedway in car 21, Leo Stadelman from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Stadelman in the Just Pour It. Michael Stadelman, Hoosier Tires number 21 car, a regular competitor here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. Heading into turn 3, the car with a tight handling condition and pushes up the speedway all the way against the outside retaining wall, but he saves it and takes the white flag. 21.03. First lap time is 21.03 for Leo Stadelman from Pittsburgh in car 21. Again, using the highest lane of the speedway down the back straight. Stadelman now out of turn 4 and looking for his second lap time, which clocks in at 20.76, 20.76, the second lap time for Stadelman. Now on the Speedway from Bear Lake, Pennsylvania, the 99B of Rick Briggs. Rick Briggs, the Meridian Hardwoods, Keystone Construction, Pioneer Financial, number 99B car. Briggs, who works closely with the Chubb Frank Racing Team and competes regularly on the State Line Erie Circuit in the northern Pennsylvania Panhandle into the state of New York. He was very loose in turn 4 and hits the scoring line. A lap of 21.15, 21.15, first lap time for Rick Briggs of Bear Lake, Pennsylvania. Briggs has won feature events on the State Line Erie Circuit up toward the Empire State, and out of turn number 4, second lap looked a little bit better for Rick Briggs. 20.58, 20.58, second lap time for Rick Briggs. Now on the Speedway, the reigning 2006 champion of Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. From Chester, West Virginia, Lou Bradich. The W.L. Davison Auto and Truck Repairs, H&F Trucking, Rock Springs Parts and Service, number 09 car, the Kell Racing Engines entry. Many-time champion of the Speedway and one of the all-time leading feature winners here at Pittsburgh. Bradich, first time. 20.90, 20.90, the first lap time for track champion Lou Bradich. Bradich has driven his own race car here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway and won a track championship for the Kawatic Racing Team. Now with the 09 car, trying to make the Pittsburgher field with a second lap time of 20.81, 20.81 second lap time for Lou Bradich. Now on the speedway in car number 17M from Chickamauga, Georgia, Dale McDowell. The Larry Shaw Race Cars, Dover Cylinder Heads, J&J Steel, Hennessy Rental Tools, SNH Motorsports, New Vision Graphics, Pennzoil number 17M. McDowell, the 2005 winner of the World 100, taking the white flag. 20:52, 20.52 for Dale McDowell, now 9th quick of the qualified cars. McDowell heads down the back straightaway as a light mist beginning to fall on the speedway here under gray skies at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. McDowell's second lap time clocks in at 1991. Quick time for Dale McDowell at a 19.91. McDowell now the fastest qualifier as the green flag waves for Dennis Niederreiter, the McDonald, Pennsylvania driver, a graduate of the open wheel E-Mod division here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. Niederreiter has one E-Mod feature win already this season. He'll be doing double duty perhaps this weekend with the E-Mods on the program card tonight as well. Kunzler Signs and Decals, Comfort Systems, the sponsors. First lap time, 20.80, 20:80, the first lap time for Dennis Niederreiter, the Ace Modified driver, moving up this season to become a super late model rookie in the Saturday Night Wars at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. He's out of turn number 4, again with a light mist falling here on the speedway. Second lap time, 20.45, 20:45, the second lap time for Dennis Niederreiter of McDonald, Pennsylvania. Now on the speedway, the 69 car of John Hodgkiss, local driver from McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania in the Hodgkiss Constructions. Nigel Auto Solutions number 69 car. Hodgkiss, another driver that moved up from the limited late model division. And he is sliding loose in turn number 3. Gathers it back in for turn 4 to take the white flag. 21 flat, 21.00, the first lap time for John Hodgkiss. Hodgkiss fighting the raindrops to complete a second lap in qualifications for the Pittsburgh 100 and takes the checkered flag. 21.81. 2181, the second lap time for John Hodgkiss, now on the speedway. In the Beitler Racing number 19 from Richmond, Indiana, Steve Casebolt Jr. Casebolt only in about his 4th or 5th week of joining the Beitler Racing team, sponsored by Reliable Painting, Hoosier Tires, Tom Kleiss Race Cars, Sunoco, and Arizona Sports Shirts as the Cornette-powered Pontiac hits the scoring line for lap number 1. 1988, quick time for Steve Casebolt Jr. The Richmond, Indiana driver clocks in at 19.88. Casebolt has won with the Sunoco American Late Model Series and the Northern All-Star Series Tour, and clocks in for the World of Outlaws Pittsburgher. Slower second lap at 20:22, 20.22 the second lap time, but he is now the fast qualifier with that first lap. Casebolt Jr. from Richmond, Indiana, the driver they're all chasing. And next up to eclipse that mark from Millersburg, Ohio, Racing John Mason, the veteran, driving the Mason Racing number 72 car, sponsored by Burt Transmissions, Brad Penn Oil, and PH Competition Signs. Mason, the former dirt track world champion and 2-time Star Series titleist. 20.92, 20.92, the first lap time for the longtime racing veteran, Racing John Mason from Millersburg, Ohio. Mason's win in the Dirt Track World Championship event came at the now defunct Pennsboro Speedway, and Mason is out of turn 4. 2072, 20.72 for car 72 of Racing John Mason. Moving out on the speedway now with one feature win in the weekly competition here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway, Ben Miley from Peters Township in car 99. Miley, the longtime veteran, began his career in asphalt street stock competition, has gone on to be one of the biggest winners in the history of Western Pennsylvania dirt late model racing, champion at Lernerville Speedway, Motordrome Speedway, and here at Pittsburgh. first lap time is 21.40. 21:40, the first lap time for popular veteran Ben Miley in the Calusi Chevrolet Lloyd's Automotive Supply number 99. Miley tried his hand at asphalt late model racing the past couple seasons, but always made it to Dirt's Monster Half Mile for his Saturday nights. Second lap time is 21:13, 21.13 for Ben Miley. Now on the Speedway, former Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway track champion from Clinton, Pennsylvania, Dave Wade in car 76. The Yangling Logger Dave Wade Auto Service Specialty Turbine number 76 car. Wade, the two-time champion of the Speedway, mentoring along the career of Jason Ryder, who already took time tonight as the raindrops are ceasing at the white flag. 20.68, 20.68, the first lap time for Dave Wade. And the sprinkles that were looking to hamper the time trial efforts now seeming to diminish as Wade into turn 3 and 4, another former asphalt competitor who returned to dirt late model racing several seasons ago. 20.88, 20.88, the second lap time for Dave Wade. Now moving on to the Speedway in car 48 from Zelienople, Pennsylvania, John Flinner. Many-time champion of the Lernerville Speedway. Flinner in car 48, racing on a part-time basis throughout 2006. He has won feature events at virtually every Western Pennsylvania Speedway and into Eastern Ohio. In car number 48, the Johns Towing Machine. Headed to the scoring line. 21.06, 21.06, the first lap time for John Flinner. Flinner, who raced here in the limited late model division in the 1980s to begin his dirt track racing career, has since gone on to be a nationally recognized champion and traveler of the region, taking the checkered flag. 21.47, 21.47 for John Flinner. Next up in car 44, Dave Hess Jr. from Waterford, Pennsylvania. The Hess Garage and Salvage, Beacon Lubricants, Weber Electric, Plyler overhead door number 44. Second generation driver whose father was a champion of the Lernerville Speedway and the Speedway 7 in Conneaut, Ohio. 21.14, 21.14, the first lap time for Dave Hess Jr. Hess, a winning modified driver who's raced in 2 divisions all season, winning features in the late models and the E-mods, has made several World of Outlaws starts this season and has notched several top 10 finishes. 21.07, 21.07, second lap time for Dave Hess Jr. Now on the Speedway in car 44, the Cat Daddy from Sonoya, Georgia, Clint Smith. Clint Smith in the JP Drilling, CSR Aluminum Fabrication, Integra Shocks, Sweet Manufacturing, Base Race Fuels, Bryn Transmission, Wildwood Brakes number 44 car. The 2005 winner of the Hillbilly 100, 4-time Southern All-Star champion, takes the white flag. 20.27, 20.27, his second quick time, but Smith encounters a problem in turn 2. Back end nearly came around and drifted him up to the outside wall. No contact with the wall, but still a loose handling condition in turn 3 for Smith. A slower lap without a doubt this time. 21.13, 21.13, the second lap time for Smith. 7th quick time for Smith on his first lap though. On the Speedway now in car 29 from Union, Kentucky, Darrell Lanigan. The Lanigan Autosports Gotta Race Hoosier Tire VP Racing Fuels number 29 car was the fastest in last night's open practice session here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. 20.28, 20.28 for Darrell Lanigan, making him 9th fastest time trialer so far. Lanigan in the 29 car, a former winner of Eldora's Dream 100, locking in his second time for the Pittsburgher. 20.39, 20.39, the second lap time for Darrell Lanigan. Now on the Speedway from West Mifflin, Pennsylvania, Scott Gunn in car 14G, sponsored by West Mifflin Collision, Toys R Us, and Subway Restaurants. A rocket chassis with a Mount Kuit engine under the hood for Gunn. Scott Gunn, a graduate of the E-Mod division and limited late model wars here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. 21:28, 2:1.28, the first lap time for Scott Gunn of West Mifflin, Pennsylvania. He's been to victory lane in weekly competition here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway in a couple of different divisions, trying to make the Pittsburgh 100 out of turn number 4. The checkered flag is out. 21:19, 2:1.19, the second lap time for Scott Gunn. Now on the Speedway, leading the World of Outlaws championship points chase into Pittsburgh weekend. They call him T-Mac from Watertown, New York, Tim McCready in car 39. The Sweeteners Plus, CME Incorporated, Texaco Haviland, Outlaw Disc Brakes, Griffin Radiators, Penske Shocks entry. McCready, the dirt modified driver, converted to dirt late models a few seasons ago, taking the white flag. 20:39, 20.39, the first lap time for T-Mac. Tim McCready, the series points leader, last season won more feature events than any other driver. 8-time feature winner, the leading among the regular Outlaw Tour drivers last season. 2014, 20.14 is 6th fastest time for Tim McCready. Now on the Speedway in car 23 from Williamson, West Virginia. John Blankenship driving the Busch Beer, Hilton Head All-Star Performance, Penske Shocks Rocket Chassis, Pro Power engine under the hood of car 23, and the Mountaineer State driver who tours with the World of Outlaws all season locks in a first time of 21.12, 21.12, the first time for John Blankenship. Blankenship picked up a big unsanctioned victory at the KC Raceway in Chillicothe, Ohio earlier this season. And Blankenship out of turn 4 as the rain sprinkles are diminishing here at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. 21:06, 21.06, the second lap time for John Blankenship in car 23. Now on the Speedway from Muscatine, Iowa, the driver of car 15B is Brian Berghofer. Berghofer, the 2002 winner of the World 100 at Eldora Speedway. This season has won in 3 different national touring series, including the World of Outlaws, as he clocks in his first lap time at 19:88, 19.88, the second quick time for Berkey. Brian Berghofer in the 15 car, who hasn't raced at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway in several seasons, returns to Pittsburgh, and out of turn number 4, a candidate for fast time tonight. 1995, second lap of 19.95 for Brian Berghofer. Driving car T8 as he has to back off the throttle on the front straight to take the green flag is St. Clairsville, Ohio's Mark Bunnell. Mark Bunnell, a former champion of the Raceway 7 and Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. Sponsors include A1 Auto Center, GP Graphics, Basel Oil, and Sunoco. Bunnell takes the white flag. 22:12, 22.12, the first lap time for Bunnell. Last season, he was the winner of the Big Kahuna event at the Cumberland Fairgrounds Raceway in Maryland. He's also won the Buckeye 50 at the Wayne County Speedway. A regular competitor throughout his career at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. Checkered flag waving. 22:22, 22.22, the second lap time for Mark Bunnell of St. Clairsville, Ohio. Now clocking in for a time trial run is Tim Gould, the local driver from Moon Township, Pennsylvania. They call him the Steel City Madman. Sponsored by Alternative Power Sources, MCB Motorsports, and Gould Racing, a Kell engine under the hood of that rocket chassis Ford Mustang. First lap time for Tim Gould, 21:70, 21.70, the first lap time for Tim Gould. Gould from just up the road, living in the shadows of the Pittsburgh International Airport in Moon Township, Pennsylvania. Just a stone's throw from here at the Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. In turn number 4, his second lap time for the Steel City Madman, 22:02. 22.02, the second lap time for Tim Gould. Taking the green flag now from Warren, Pennsylvania, in car number 40, Dutch Davies. Dutch Davies in the United States Air Force sponsored Fairway Ford Jones GM Davies & Son 3 Rivers Trucking entry. It's a custom racing engine under the hood of a Pontiac GTO and a rocket chassis for Dutch Davies. First lap time, 21.34, 21:34, the first lap time for Dutch Davies, who's a limited late model champion at the Raceway 7 early in his career. Younger brother to Ron Davies, the North Pennsylvania hot shoe. And Dutch from Warren, Pennsylvania, scores a second lap time for the Pittsburgher at 21.53, 21.53, second lap time for Dutch Davies. Now on the speedway in the RG3 from Bedford, Pennsylvania, the Bedford Bullet, Bob Salathy. Bedford Valley Petroleum and Pepsi Products, the sponsors. A rocket chassis for the driver who retired from competition for several years, became a racetrack promoter after winning the 1996 Stars Rookie of the Year title, and clocks in his first Pittsburgher lap at 21.34, 21.34, first lap time for the Bedford Bullet, Bob Salathy. Salathy has been to victory lane here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway in unsanctioned competition. And out of turn number 4, the Bedford Bullet's second lap time will be 21:52, 21.52, the second lap time for Bob Salathy. Now on the speedway from Locust Grove, Georgia, in car number 25, Shane Clanton. Shane Clanton aboard the SAE Parts Incorporated, RSD Enterprises, Hoosier Tires, Stevens Plumbing and Mechanical, Pontiac GTO. It's a rocket chassis with a custom racing engine for Clanton. White flag is waving. 2015, 20.15, 8th quick time for Shane Clanton. Rick Briggs in the 99 car, disqualified light at the scales. We'll review that after time trials are completed. 20:34, 20.34, the second lap time for Shane Clanton, second in the championship points chase with the World of Outlaws. Garrett Durrett from Simsboro, Louisiana, has the 58-cent car out on the speedway. He did not trip the laser eye, so we're going to go one more lap, I believe. Green flag will be displayed again to Durrett. Green flag is being displayed. The white flag will come out now, still seeking a first time on Durrett. The Rated R Superstar and the Stocky Enterprises Davison Transport Extreme Graphics 59 cent. 20:76, 20.76 is the first lap time for Garrett Durrett. Durrett pulling off the speedway now. He was not aware that we didn't get a first lap time from him, so Durrett will return to the racetrack momentarily. Now on the speedway in car 33 from Erie, Pennsylvania, Chris Hackett. Chris Hackett aboard the Roberts Trucking 33, Specialty Products and Jay's Auto Wrecking, the sponsors. Chris Hackett from Erie, Pennsylvania, with a Krager Racing engine under the hood of a rocket chassis, Monte Carlo. Once again, Garrett Durrett will return to the speedway for a second lap time in his rocket chassis Ford Fusion. First lap time is 21.36, 21:36. First lap time for Chris Hackett of Erie, Pennsylvania. Another driver from that northern Pennsylvania, southern New York circuit of racetracks, including Raceway 7, State Line Speedway, and Erie's Speedway. Second lap time for Hackett. 21.13, 21.13, the second lap time for Chris Hackett. Now returning to the racetrack, the 58-cent car of Garrett Durrett from Simsboro, Louisiana. Young driver following the entire World of Outlaws Tour this season, making a run at the Rookie of the Year title. Right now it's second generation driver Eddie Carrier Jr. leading the rookie points chase with the 58-cent of Durrett with a 21.03, first time of 21.03 for Garrett Durrett, and his time trial effort is now completed on the Speedway in car 17. From South Park, Pennsylvania, Keith Barbara. Barbara, the most recent winner in late model competition here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. He won the 30-lapper a week ago tomorrow, we should say. 2:09.2, the first lap time for Keith Barbara is 20.92, and he is into the outside retaining wall at the end of the front straightaway, bringing out a caution flag. Barbara with rather light but repeated contact with the outside wall. Barbara from South Park, sponsored by Triangle Benefit Services, Forbes Field Garage, an AM Racer. It's a Kell Racing engine and a rocket chassis, and I understand a new Kell Racing engine. Keith Barbara, who won here just 6 days ago, clocking in only one lap in the Pittsburgh time trial sessions tonight before pounding the outside retaining wall in turn 1.
Well, Mike, let's look at the top 10 in qualifying as we speak. Cat Daddy Clint Smith, 10th quick at 2:027. Then Eddie Carrier Jr., 9th quick at 2:025. 8th quick, Shane Clanton at 2:015. Then Tim McCready at 2:014. Steve Francis at 2:009. The one of Josh Richards, 5th quick at 1998. Rick Eckert, 4th quick at 1992. Dale McDaddy McDowell, 3rd quick at 1991, and the top two have the same time, but coming out first will be your fast time. So Brian Burkhofer, 2nd quick at 1988, and Steve Casebolt Jr., the quick time at 1988. And that is your top 10 with just 2 cars left to qualify. Officially 54, Mike, showed up. Barberville, Florida, October 13th and 14th.
Green flag displayed again on Durst Monster Half Mile. From Northeast Pennsylvania, the driver of car 1U is Matt Urban. Matt Urban, who pulled off an upset victory in the Pittsburgh 100 just a few years back. Sponsored by Superior Walls, specialty products with a custom racing engine under the hood of a Monte Carlo bodied rocket chassis. Hitting the scoring line for lap number 1 as the 53rd qualifier. 21.49, 21.49, the first lap time for Matt Urban from Northeast Pennsylvania. Urban, another regular competitor at the Raceway 7 and on the Eries and State Line circuit up in the Empire State. Second lap time for the former Pittsburgher winner. 21.62, 21.62, the second lap time for Matt Urban. Now clocking in our final qualifier for the 18th annual Pittsburgh 100. The driver of car 29 is Rick Heim. Rick Heim, a regular racer here at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway, who has made the climb from the stock division through the limited lates and now the super late models. 20.85, 20.85, the first lap time for Heim. He has a little bit of trouble entering turn 2 out of turn number 1 on this second lap, but a pretty good first attempt for our final qualifier of the night, Rick Heim in car 29. 20.83, 20.83, the second time for Rick Heim in car 29. From the 3rd position, another winner this season. Green flag waving, and the Lincoln Welders E-Mods are underway in their first Pittsburgher weekend heat race. Kerry Gasser in the 0K taking the lead from Bassage. The 71C of Chris Bassage. You'll see his brother out on the speedway momentarily. Challenging him now to the high side is Daryl Charlier. Charlier takes away the 2nd position, and the 17 of Laboon is right there in 4th. Vince Laboon in fourth, that is. And the 71M of Mike Bassage completing the top 5. Both of the Bassage brothers won 2 features this season, and both in the top 5 right now, while Kerry Gasser leads them around Dirt's Monster half mile. Gasser in the 0K car from Ohio, competing regularly at the Raceway 7 on Friday nights and the Tri-City Speedway on Sundays, while venturing down to Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway each and every Saturday night. Battle developing for second as Bassage trying to reclaim that position from the 12 of Charlier. Daryl Charlier, a second-generation driver from Midway, Pennsylvania, in car number 12. Holds on to the runner-up spot, and look at that battle for fourth. Wheel to wheel out of turn number 4. The 71M of Mike Bassage and the 17L of Vince Laboon. Bassage brothers now 3rd and 4th on the racetrack as Mike Bassage completes his pass of Laboon. Bassage brothers 3rd and 4th, riding in second Daryl Charlier, and out in front the OK of Kerry Gasser. Gasser did not take a checkered flag here at Pittsburgh in 2006, although was very close on several occasions. Also very close is that lead battle. Now up to the outside is Charlier, the young driver from Midway, Pennsylvania, battling the Buckeye female, Kerry Gasser in the OK, still wheel to wheel down the back straightaway. The Lincoln Welders E-Mods putting on a show on a damp Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. White flag waving, we have a new leader, the 12 of Daryl Charlier. Out in front now at the white flag. Gasser is back to second, then the Bassage brothers. Chris, who started on the front row, now in 3rd. Mike, who started back of the pack, is now 4th. Out of turn 4, checkered flag on the first Lincoln Welders E-Mod heat of the night. Daryl Charlier takes the victory. 5 of Tom Martinek. 8 laps the distance for the Lincoln Welders E-Mods. There's the green flag. Still 2 by 2 into turn 1 with hard contact up front. Stush Sadowski pushed up the racetrack and collided with the 65 of Tom Martinek. Martinek goes around while Sadowski continues. In the center of turn 1, the nose of the 74 car, Stush Sadowski pushed straight up the banking, and right in his path with that tight handling condition was the 65 of Tom Martinek. Martinek gets the worst of it as that contact sent him spinning and brings out the caution flag. It will be a complete restart. On the speedway, Stush Sadowski and Jimmy Petrell, the front row. 8 laps of racing for the Lincoln Welders E-Mods. Spreading out a bit more on the start this time. Petrell out to the lead, 3 wide, nearly 4 wide out of turn 2. Up to second is veteran Dale Charlier in the 11. Side-by-side battle behind the 3rd place Matika car now separates with pole sitter Sadowski back to 4th. Contact out of turn 4. Hard hit with the wall as the 65 of Tom Martinek, after being bumped around on the initial start, makes hard outside wall contact, and the 4M of Kevin Miller did a terrific job avoiding that ill-handling machine on its way to the guardrail. That are able to start the feature events tomorrow will take the green flag, and here's a green flag for 7 more laps with the Lincoln Welders E-Mods. And Dale Charlier not coming up to speed as the green flag came out, falling from 2nd briefly back to 4th. Now challenging for 3rd, leader is the 84 of Petrell. Petrell now finding himself door to door with the 17M of Russ Matika, 3 wide for the lead out of turn 4. light contact made. That's Hawkins on the inside. Car number 37, driven by young Jacob Hawkins, the second generation driver, falling back now to third. New leader is Russ Matika in 17M in the middle of a three-car sandwich on the back straight. Petrel maintains second. Jacob Hawkins on the bottom. Dale Charlier, nearly twice his age, is fighting with him for third out of four. Matika opening up a big lead now over Petrel. Two veteran drivers, Jimmy Petrel in the 84 and Dale Charlier in the 11, are being challenged by the West Virginia teenager Jacob Hawkins, who takes third spot in a lightning fast pass out of turn 4, sending Charlier back to fourth. Hawkins now changes to the high lane of the Speedway to challenge Jimmy Petrel for second, and down the back straight, he's got that position. Russ Matika in the 17M with a large lead over Jacob Hawkins, now running in second. Hawkins a feature winner here this season, second in the championship points chase. And the 84 of Petrel is now falling back. We have a three-car fight for third developing with Charlier on the outside, Petrel on the inside, and the 4 of Miller closing quickly. Just a couple of laps ago, Russ Matika's 17M car had a lead of about double what it is right now. Young Jacob Hawkins in the 37, working lap number 6 of 8, is closing in to fight for the lead. In turns 3 and 4, Hawkins is clearly the fastest car on the racetrack. And as the white flag is waving, a heated battle for all positions on the racetrack. Lead fight wheel to wheel out of turn 2. Matika holds onto it by 2 car lengths. Headed into turn number 3, Russ Matika, the veteran. Jacob Hawkins in the 37, diving to the inside. It's his fastest point on the racetrack, but it won't be enough. Russ Matika takes the checkered flag over Hawkins. 3 cars battling for a distant third. Petrel in the 84 will take the spot over Miller.
And he posted top 2 finishes in 3 straight races, top 5s, and he has been really solid as Casebolt brings him out of 4. Here we go. So they storm into 1 and 2, Mike, and Richards will get the whole shot out of 2. He'll drag Chubzilla along as a dancing partner. He'll get around Casebolt. Casebolt back to 3rd.
Eddie Carrier Jr. in the 4th spot. Davey Johnson started 8th in the 79 car. He's challenging for 5th to the inside of Rod Schweitzer in the 84.
Kid Rocket out in no man's land in turn 4, somehow got it straightened out. So it's Kid Rocket, Chubzilla, then Steve Casebolt Jr., Eddie Carrier Jr. with the final transfer spot, and the Juice Davey Johnson going to work on Schweitzer. As coming out of 4 again, high, wide, and handsome, it's Josh Richards.
3 wide is that fight for 5th, but that battle nearly a half a straightaway behind the 4 transfer positions. Rod Schweitzer in the 84, the Bedford Speedway regular, holding on to that position over Davey Johnson and the Malku at 79. Dave Hess Jr. in 44 has joined that fight.
Chubb Frank closing in now on Josh Richards, nipping away at that lead, takes a peek to the inside, but nothing new, and high side momentum will keep Richards way out front again as he pulls him down the backstretch. Dave Hess Jr., as you mentioned, going to work on Davey Johnson now for the number 6 spot.
That thrilling 3-car fight for 5th, 6th, and 7th may all be for naught as the top 4 cars are checking out on this speedway. And Rick, Josh Richards' first career unsanctioned victory happening right here at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway.
Well, no stranger to victory lane here at Pittsburgh, but Chubzilla also no stranger, former Pittsburgher 100 winner, and he is staying and keeping pace with Josh Richards. Good distance back to fast qualifier Steve Casebolt Jr. and then Eddie Carrier Jr. Sitting on the outside looking in, Rod Schweitzer, Dave Hess Jr., along with the 79 of Davey Johnson and Al Atala.
Behind Atala, it's the 40 of Dutch Davies. And Davies closing in on Atala, but the top 4 cars running away in the heat battle, the lead battle, I should say, Rick, intensifying now with the pair of number 1 cars.
6 in, 4 to go. It's a pair of aces up front as Chubzilla takes a look to the inside. Gets a good bite down low. He's got him coming out of 4. Josh Richards trying to rally back. Give the lap to Chubb Frank. So 7 and 3 to go. Now back to the outside goes Richards.
Several unofficial lead changes around Dirt's Monster half mile at the scoring line. It was Chubb Frank. They're nearly swapping stickers entering turn number 3.
Mother Nature providing a great racing service as they swap the lead again, playing Indian Giver out of every corner. That time Chubb Frank has it as we come down lap number 8, about to go in the books.
Pennsylvania Motor Speedway with a cushion just about 2 to 3 feet off the outside retaining wall. Richards is up top banging the right rear on that cushion, but Chubb Frank is running away with them now with just 1 lap to go.
9 in, white flag is out. This is the final time for Chubbzilla. Only a problem now will keep him out of victory lane. Remember, the winners go to the dash, Mike. Here we come, final lap.
Into lap traffic, Chubb Frank makes an inside move. Josh Richards several car lengths behind, and after a torrid battle for the top spot, Chubb Frank is headed to the dash. Josh Richards finishing second, Steve Casebolt in third, Eddie Carrier Jr. in fourth, the transfer cars, then a full straightaway behind. Rodney Schweitzer in the 84 getting the 5th position over Davey Johnson. Brian Burkhofer and Steve Francis leading them to the green for Pittsburgh heat race number 2. Francis gets the jump on the pole sitter. We got a problem. The Jacobson number 5 car driven by Kowatic going from the front of the field to the back in a hurry. He pinched the car up against the outside wall. No contact was made, but he dropped anchor.
So it'll be Francis Burkhofer, Clint Smith, and Jared Miley with transfer spots. On the move, the Rated R superstar, Garrett Durrett, out of Simsboro, Louisiana. He's challenging for 4th. Berkey on the back bumper of the Kentucky Colonel, but the Colonel spanks his horse in 3. Here comes Berkey on the inside of 4. Francis will lead.
Durrett taking that final transfer position battle very seriously as he's closing in on the H1 of Jared Miley. He's already passed the local favorite Dennis Niederreiter in 68, and that final transfer spot battle could be heating up with Francis out in front of Burkhofer. All by himself in 3rd is Clint Smith, the Cat Daddy, and the bubble position is the fight to watch.
That's the one under protest right now as Garrett Durrett lost a lot of real estate heading into turn number 4. The car got loose. He's since rectified the ship, but he has a lot of ground to make up now on Jared Miley. Sitting in 6th, the 68 machine of Dennis Niederreiter. He's had a pretty good run, and now Salathy comes to life as he works the back bumper of the 68.
Bob Salathy to the high side of Niederreiter, and back in the pack, the Eric Jacobson number 5, driven tonight by George Kowatic, continues to struggle. Up front, Francis Burkhofer, then Clint Smith, and the bubble spot battle continues.
And Niederreiter got around over in turn number 2. He got collected. And that's Steffens, and it looks like the 5 machine of Jacobson got through it, but somebody else also involved down there. Couldn't see who it was. Too low on the track.
Mike Johnson, the 2J of Mike Johnson, the last car to collide with the spun 84 of Steffens and the 68 of Niederreiter. Niederreiter started in a transfer spot, then faded just a little bit, and now the top 4 on the bubble. The H1 of Jared Miley from South Park, Pennsylvania. 3rd, the Cat Daddy, Clint Smith in car 44. Riding 2nd, Brian Burkhofer, now the pole starter. And after that terrific hole shot at the green flag, Steve Francis, currently the leader in the Valvoline Mopar. Racing once again. And Francis by himself in the Delaware restart resumes the lead. 4 laps completed. Now taking up chase, it's Clint Smith in the 44. Burkhofer having no luck starting from the inside 2 times in a row.
And the 68 of Niederreiter gets back into competition, although it'll be about a full straightaway behind Mike as we get back underway. It is the Kentucky Colonel. Look at the Cat Daddy. He's made a move and he's brought along Garrett Durrett as his dancing partner. So both drivers get around Berkey. That throws him on the bubble. He wants no part of that. He's going to get back into competition for that 2nd spot.
Burkhofer, starting from the pole, loses the initial lead to Francis, who's now checking out on a 3-car battle for 2nd, and Burkhofer quickly from the runner-up spot to the last transfer position as Smith and now Durrett have both passed the 15B.
It's all Steve Francis. He is in command of this event. Everybody else trying to chase him down. Looks like the top four again are separating themselves from fifth as Berkey goes to work on the outside of Durrett for third. He'll clear him and dispose of him out of turn number 4. So Durrett finds himself now on the bubble. Closest competitor, it's Jared Miley along with Robbie Scott and Boom Briggs.
The Miley and Scott battle raging on about half a straightaway behind Durrett. And Durrett is off the pace with smoke out the back of the 58-cent car.
And the Larry Wallace power plant has given up the ghost on the 58-cent machine of Garrett Durrett. Had a transfer spot, and he is going to limp that car hopefully into the pit area as it let go right there, and we are going to have to go yellow.
2 laps remaining, and the Durrett machine rolls to a stop on the front straightaway. Francis with another big lead over Clint Smith, and Brian Burkhofer now back up to third as a result of Durrett's power plant failure. And now local favorite young Jared Miley finds himself in a transfer position, riding fourth in the H1. He wasn't fast enough to challenge the top 3, but he was doing a terrific job holding off West Virginia ace Robbie Scott. And now Boom Briggs, Rick Briggs that is, in the 99 car, as the driver they call Boom has moved from the last starting position up to 5th.
So let's see if Boom can get in or Miley can hold him off. Francis on the hammer, here we go.
Francis again with a couple car lengths advantage at the stripe, and Briggs makes a pass of Miley as the green flag comes out. Briggs in the 99 car started last after being late at the scales, disqualified from his time trial run. He is now on the bubble in 4th and several car lengths ahead of Miley.
So Francis brings him out of 4. White flag goes in the air, 1 to go. Boom Briggs not done, not satisfied with just getting around Jared Miley. He's going to go to work on Brian Burkhofer and try and grab third. Berkey slips up the bank, and here comes Boom down the backstretch.
Briggs making his name known, now challenging a nationally renowned late model driver, but out of turn number 4 to see the checkered flag. Steve Francis picks up the win over Clint Smith. Burkhofer holds on to third by just half a car length over Briggs. Jared Miley completing the top 5 in the H1 car, but Miley will need one of the B main consolation events tomorrow in order to make the Pittsburgh 100 here at his home track, as Rick Boom Briggs moves from the tail to a transfer spot in car 99, finishing 4th behind Burkhofer in 3rd, Clint Smith in 2nd, and heat race winner, the Kentucky Colonel, Steve Francis. Hackett in the 33 and Jim Lepro in the 6. McDowell and McCready. Row number 1, Lance Elson, Billy Moyer, row number 2. Here's the green flag, another 10-lap World of Outlaws heat race underway. 3 wide with contact in the battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th as Ferree makes side-to-side contact with the 17 of Elson. Up front, still glued door-to-door, the 17M of Dale McDowell and the 39 of Tim McCready. Out of turn 4, McCready out front by about 2 car lengths now. The first separation on lap 1. And we got a problem out of turn 4. John Flinner in the 48 and racing John Mason in the 72. Mason continues on with heavy body damage, but the caution flag will wave as John Flinner is stopped against the outside retaining wall on the front straight.
Starting spot, that's what they're all going for here. The winners go to the dash tomorrow night. That determines the front 2 rows. So let's see what happens as side-by-side, close quarters for McDowell and McCready. The Mac attack takes it into turn number 1. It's McDowell over McCready.
4 wide momentarily behind them with Moyer on the outside and Keith Barbara passing 2-3 race cars at the wave of the green. He's already sent 2nd row starter Elson back. Barbara now on the bubble after starting in the 8th spot on row 1. Lance
Elson getting the worst of every exchange out there. He has shuffled himself back all the way out of a transfer spot and a pretty bad starting spot in the B main tomorrow night. So he's got to regroup and get going, but it's Tim McCready, Dale McDowell, Billy Moyer, and Keith Barbara, who was your last qualifier on the list here tonight. He has really made a great account of himself.
Barbara holding the bubble spot after advancing 4 spots on lap 1. Alex Ferree got a terrific jump on the initial start that was waved off. Here on this restart with 2 laps completed, Ferree has dropped straight back, losing about 7 positions on the speedway. Up front, Tim McCready over Dale McDowell. They've got about 12, 14 car lengths over Billy Moyer in 3rd.
Well, Moyer knows he's in the main event. Of course, he'd like to do better than that third spot, so he'll see if he can get the Masters-built chassis back
Caution
up to
flag
speed.
for Hotchkiss. John Hotchkiss in the 69 spins between turns 3 and 4. Hotchkiss bringing out the caution flag, and we talked about Barbara making that great 4-position charge on the first lap to earn a transfer position just behind him. Jim Lepro's number 6 car rounding out the top 5 with 3 of 10 laps. Billy Moyer and leader Tim McCready with 7 laps to go.
And McCready gets on the hammer, wastes no time. They're 3 and 4 wide behind the leader. How about Keith Barbara? He's got to hold off some serious competition now as he goes to the inside of Moyer for third. He had Lepro on the rear deck lid, but disposed of Moyer coming out of 2. Now Moyer's under attack from Lepro.
Defending champion Billy Moyer now on the bubble. Keith Barbara, the 8th starter, up to 3rd. Moyer now tucks in, nearly making rear bumper contact with the 17 of Barbara. Tim McCready out front, checking out from Dale McDowell, and then a 2-car battle for 3rd position. The driver that loses that war for the podium spot will be on the bubble.
Well, Moyer not able to find the handle on the Masters-built chassis. First time he's broken it out with the World of Outlaws Late Model Series. Tried it out last weekend to no avail. They have the car working right now, but not the way Moyer would like. He'd like to be battling for the lead and a chance at the dash. Right now, he's just got to settle for that top 4 spot and hold off everybody on his rear deck lid.
Rick, bring us up to speed with the World of Outlaws point scoring measures as the current series championship leader is out in front of this heat race leading McDowell. He's going to extend that lead with this heat race performance.
The way it works, Mike, is points only for the feature. They break down from top spot 150, goes down 4 points to second, 2 points the rest of the way, so 150 for first, 102 for 24th. Heat races just to get them lined up for the feature. Of course, in the dash, if you can get a spot in the dash, you've got a good starting spot for the main event. But it's all about the feature finish is where the points are handed out. And right now, Moyer knows that he's sitting in about a 12th starting position in this feature event tomorrow night, as to where McCready's worst effort could be a 4th starting spot when we go green.
McCready out in front, McDowell just a few car lengths behind, then nearly a full straightaway is the advantage for McDowell over 3rd place racer Keith Barbara from South Park, Pennsylvania. Barbara now opens up about a 6-car length advantage over Arkansas's Billy Moyer, holding on to the bubble spot, and the top 4 cars look like they will be unchallenged to the finish.
Well, you got to hand it to Keith Barbara and his crew is that they have done a masterful job of getting him in the main event. All it is now is a half a lap for Keith Barbara, but here comes McCready. He is sailing to victory and going dash racing.
The Sweeteners plus 39 of World of Outlaws points leader Tim McCready from Watertown, New York, taking the checkered flag. Georgia's Dale McDowell in 2nd. Pennsylvania's Keith Barbara 3rd. And Billy Moyer, the defending series champ, locking up transfer positions from this 3rd of 4 heat races. Here at Pittsburgh already this season in unsanctioned competition. Shane Clanton flanks him to the green flag, and we're racing 10 more laps for the World of Outlaws. Darrell Lanigan into the 3rd position as West Virginia rider Steve Baker losing some car lengths at the wave of the green. Eckert out in front of Clanton by about 2 car lengths headed into turn 3. Identical race cars battling for 5th. Dave Wade and Jason Ryder, local heroes, behind the front 4. Transfer positions held by the 0 of Steve Baker, the 29 of Darrell Lanigan in 3rd, Shane Clanton in the 25 in 2nd, and Clanton getting a little bit closer to Eckert in turn number 3 now, possibly a lead battle as the rest of the top 5 are separating themselves, getting set to work lap 2.
Well, Mike Eckert, another one of those drivers that changed power plants this afternoon. He put a fresh Cornet motor underneath the hood of that 24 as the engine last night not sounding the way he liked it. He said, quote, "The engine has issues. We're not taking any chances." And he has got it tuned right now to the number 1 spot, but the Locust Grove Lightning trying to strike down the front chute all by himself. Darrell Lanigan sitting in 3rd. And a great run in 4th right now by Steve Baker, as Baker turning in some good laps. That's keeping him ahead of Dave Wade and the rest of the on-challengers.
That lap in turn 2, the Locust Grove Lightning able to challenge Eckert to the inside. Now he changes to the high side on the front straight, still gaining just a bit. Turn number 2 is where he mounted the inside challenge last time. Eckert drifts up and blocks Clanton. A heavy lead fight going on at the front.
And Clanton knows he's in the championship points chase, just 28 markers behind Tim McCready, so taking no chances. Happy to be in the A-main, would like to be in the dash and increase his chances of catching McCready, but right now he's got to settle for that second spot as Eckert starts to pull away. Lanigan comfortable. Baker's going to start to hear the roar of the engine of Dave Wade's car as Dave, many laps around this place, is beginning to go, and we've got one in trouble in turn number 4.
Jason Ryder in the 76X car, the team machine to Dave Wade. 76X of Ryder rolls to a stop out of turn number 4. And Rick, I'm a little bit surprised by that lead battle. As you mentioned, drivers in the championship hunt with only one race remaining in the World of Outlaws points series this season. Rick Eckert and Shane Clanton nearly made hard contact on the outside of turn number 2 as Clanton changed lanes from an inside challenge, moved up high, and Eckert drifted right into the path of Clanton.
Well, you got to wonder what happens on the racetrack. The car may have went in a little bit too deep, Mike, into one, which forced him up the banking. Nevertheless, Clanton had presence of mind to get on the binders, let Eckert get straightened out, and then go back on the attack. So he's sitting in good shape in second spot. And right now, I'd say the guy that benefited the most from this caution, unfortunate it was for his teammate, is Dave Wade. He now closes in right on the rear decklet of Steve Baker when we go back to green, as we have 5 in, 5 to go. We are single file order from this point on.
Practice session last night with free admission for the fans. Everybody was treated to some action last night, and Clanton battles back to the inside of Eckert in a big way at the wave of the green. We've got some Speedway lighting issues here at the beginning of the front straight out of turn 4. Shane Clanton at the wave of the green flag powered his way under Eckert. They nearly swapped paint, battling for the top spot, headed to the scoring line, but we're going to wave the caution flag again. 5 down and 5 to go as 2 towers of the lights have gone dark here on the front straight at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway.
And then get 18,000 reasons to smile tomorrow night. And here we go as they come out of 4. We're halfway through the final heat. Eckert will drag Clanton, Lanigan, and Baker into turns 1 and 2. Lanigan to the outside, Clanton to the inside, Baker to the outside, but up front, it's Clanton and Eckert doing battle.
Clanton tried an outside pass and had the door slammed on him in turn 2 a few laps ago. He remains on the outside now out of 4. Changing lanes, I'll tell you, the Clanton number 25 car may be faster than Eckert, but if they were in traffic, the 25 is handling absolutely anywhere on the track. And as I say that, makes a bobble to the outside. Eckert gets away.
Announcer's jinx always comes into play. Every time you talk good about somebody, something goes on in that race car or on the racetrack. So we'll get them back underway with Eckert, Clanton, Lanigan, Steve Baker. The West Virginia rim rider is flirting with disaster out there because Scotty Gunn has had a run coming from the 5th spot, and he's within about 5 car lengths of Baker, but Baker will pull him out of turn 2.
Gunn has passed 2 former track champions in the form of Lynn Geisler and Dave Wade to move himself up to 1 spot away. Baker, the West Virginia rim rider, nearly showering sparks off the rear spoiler as he's up against the guardrail in turns 3 and 4 and heads right back up there in turn 2. Gunn not quite able to gain. The top 5 spaced out around the speedway.
Baker flirting with disaster over in turn number 2 as he's right up by the guardrail. Little bit lower line coming out of 3 and 4, but take a look at him when he goes into 1 and 2. He just lets it all hang out, let the chips fall where they may, and it's either going to help him or it's going to bite him up in that corner as he gets awful close again.
Scott Gunn not able to gain on Baker's 0 car, although he has pulled away from Wade and Geisler. So Scott Gunn in the 5th spot, Steve Baker in 4th, Darrell Lanigan in 3rd. 2nd goes to Shane Clanton, and winning the 4th and final heat race for the Pittsburgh 100 in 2006, it's Rick Eckert in car 24. Eight laps the distance to the Pure Stock Invitational Heat Races. Green flag is out. 72 of Kamiker from Hopewell Township taking the lead. Then the 54 car of Wayne Carbo into 2nd, 3 wide on the back straight. Faringer to the inside, Pegger on the outside. Contact is made, and the 68 of Simmons is spinning and collecting others. Pegger stays on the hammer to try to keep moving, but he will spin the 09 car. Contact was also made with the 51, I believe, of Adam Chaitil. Pegger in the 09 pulls away, and the 68 of Simmons, who made the initial contact, still parked in turn number 3, bringing out the caution. Complete restart, no laps completed. Runners in the northern tier of Pennsylvania, that's 02 starting 3rd. The 1 of Todd Dennis starting from 4th. Green is out. '92 is Bobby Heim, 51 Adam Chaitil in the former Ron Opachin car. And once again, Kamiker taking the early lead. The 02 of Fahringer, former winner of this event, and he's won virtually every big stock car event in Western Pennsylvania. He rides 3rd with Carbo hanging on to 2nd. Adam Chaitil in the 51 car, one of the most successful race cars here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. Ron Opachin won a feature this year in the 51 car. Chaitil up from the amateur stocks, battling to the outside of the 1 of Todd Dennis for 4th. Kamiker now putting some distance between himself and second place car, the 54 machine of Wayne Carbo from Saxonburg. Fahringer in 3rd and maybe closing a little, and then a side-by-side battle. That's the 92 car of Bobby Heim racing door to door with the 51 of Chaitil just up from the amateur stocks. Let's call that a 3-car battle as the 10 of Nick Kachuba joins right in. Caution flag cars of Simmons and Pegger joining the battle. Side by side for 2nd now. Fahringer looks to the inside, but on the top, Carbo able to power his way back to the runner-up spot. Big lead for Kamiker as the signal of crossed flags indicates halfway. Carbo still 2nd, Fahringer still 3rd, and then 4 or 5 cars fighting for the 4th spot. Chaitil in the 51 hangs on to it for now, but Simmons, after the caution flag period, which looked like it might have damaged the car, he takes over in 4th, leaving the 92 machine of Heim door to door with Chaitil, and the 10 closing quickly is Kachuba. All sorts of action behind the top 3. How about Simmons in that 68 car pulling away from the battle after stopping on the racetrack when the initial start was waved off? He's up to 4th now. In 3rd, Fahringer. In 2nd, Carbo. And your leader, track champion Kamiker, running away with this one. Still trying to make it 3 wide in a heated battle, which is now for 5th. 6 of 8 laps now completed. Fahringer, the 02, loses a few car lengths now to the 2nd place runner of Carbo. And Simmons has not only passed the remaining 5 cars, but he's closing in on 3rd place. Simmons looked like he had a damaged race car at the wave of the green flag. He's passed 5, now looking to pass 6 cars as he looks to the outside of Fahringer's 02. Simmons in the 68X doing a terrific job as the driver who placed 3rd in the championship standings this season is now taking over 3rd place on the racetrack. Carbo in 2nd, Fahringer in 4th, and coming out of turn 4 for another victory, track champion Craig Kamiker gets the heat race win. Closing in quickly for 2nd was Simmons, but Carbo holds on to it. Fahringer 4th, and the 92 of Bobby Heim completing the top 5. And CJ Morley in the 2B complete the lineup for this 8-lap WBGN TV Pure Stock heat race, and we are green and racing. 3 wide right at the start. Bill Robertson diving into the lead from the 2nd row, still 3 wide, trying to be 4 wide. 96 car making a big move. Davey Lee is quickly up to 2nd. Then it's the 45 car of Weldon going 3 wide in between the 2. It'll be the 1B. Robinson. Out in front, Bill Robertson. Gotta say my Robertsons and my Robisons differently. Daryl Robinson out in front in the 1R. In the second, Bill Robertson. I'm going to have to enunciate those really carefully for you folks, between the Robisons and the Robertson. In third, Pat Weldon in the 45. No other name sounds like that. We'll be good there. 2B car of C.J. Morley up to fourth after starting last, and we're nearly 4 wide again in the 5th place battle. In the 45 car, challenging for the 2nd position. 8 laps the distance. We've got 3 completed, and it's a 4-car breakaway at the front. 4th, the 2B of Morley. 3rd, the 45 of Weldon. The 1B in the 2nd spot is Bill Robertson, and Darrell Robison continues to lead. We got a car backwards out of turn 4. It's the 11 machine. Charlie DiLoretto, a feature winner here this season, spinning the 11 car at the exit to turn 4. DiLoretto placed 10th in the final point standings and had a feature victory as well. Having a tough time here on the first night of competition for the Pure Stocks and the 18th annual Pittsburgh 100. In second. Say those clearly for you first-time fans here to the Speedway. Pat Weldon in third, and up to fourth, C.J. Morley. Morley has passed more cars in this race than anybody else, and he's now challenging for third. Make it a lead battle, 4 cars strong. Robison and Robertson battling for the front position, but it looks like a restart, still door-to-door around Dirt's Monster half mile. Weldon and Morley right there to challenge for the win. The 1B of Robertson now out in front of Darrell Robison. Morley takes third from Weldon, and Morley's looking for second after starting deep in this field. The 2-car challenging for the runner-up spot. 1B of Robertson out in front, and it looks like Hopewell Township C.J. Morley might have something to say about second position. Weldon back in fourth. That battle of Darrell Robison and Morley rages on for second. Behind leader Bill Robertson. Robertson with 1 win this season, taking the white flag. Morley now fading just a bit after challenging for second. He's back to fourth, and it's Weldon pushing the rear bumper of Robison into turn 3. Up front, the driver of car number 1B, Bill Robertson, takes the checkered flag, and Robison holds on to second by inches over Pat Weldon, with Morley coming home in fourth.